Hi, this is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I've got another unboxing with 3 boxes with some awesome books in them. Stay tuned! Alright, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So like I said, I've got 3 boxes that I got to open today, and there should be, I think, 5 books in them. So I'm real excited to get into these. One of them is an upgrade to kind of like a set of books that I've been putting together for a while. So start on this one. There are 3 books in here that I'm going to talk about, and the first is a pretty awesome pre-code horror book. This is Vault of Horror number 28, and you can see it's just kind of like it's not like a real like special Golden Age pre-code horror book or anything. It's just kind of like a creepy, bride tied up to a pole. I don't know if she's a witch or what's going on this one, but there are a bunch of different titles that are similar in with these characters. The Vault Keeper, Old Witch, Crypt Keeper. But this is one of the EC titles that they used for these characters, and it's a nice looking grade, especially with the page quality. So this is a slightly brittle Pages book, and like I've mentioned before, page quality doesn't really concern me, especially when you can get books that really present so well, because I think when it hits slightly brittle it'll start actually impacting the grade, but obviously 5.5 is still a pretty high grade for a book from 1953, but if you look at the actual cover and everything, I mean it's really clean, so I would say that page quality did start to impact the actual grade. The front and the back look really nice. So but that's the first book, just a cool pre-code horror book. I'm always trying to pick those up. I've seen a lot of resurgence in popularity in those books. They've always had a relatively strong fan base, but even more so lately I've seen the prices on these books really start to climb. So I was glad to pick that one up. Now let's see, what's the next one? Okay, alright, so I've been showing a few of these types of books lately. These are the Good Girl Art bondage type covers from the 40s and the 50s, and this one, it's another CBCS book, and like I mentioned in one of my prior videos, when you're talking about Golden Age books, less common books, I really don't have a problem with branching out into different grading companies for those books. I mean, I generally just like to purchase CGC just for similarity between the books that I have, but this one is a CBCS. It's a Rangers Comics number 29, and again, like, this is a 5.0, and you can see it's a white pages copy again, just like that other one that I had gotten recently from CBCS. I think it was also Rangers Comics, or no, that one was Fight Comics number 40. And so it's again, this one's slightly brittle, this one's white pages. I will buy any type of page quality, but I do understand that a white pages copy will generally command a premium over other page qualities. Now, below white pages, I really don't see a difference in prices. I mean, I've had books that I sold for the kind of like the record price in that grade with light tan pages, over other books that were white pages. So I think the grade is really the most important part, and then more secondarily, it gets into things like the page quality. But this one, you can see it's like it's 1946. Bondage type cover, Good Girl Art cover, and just a cool book to pick up. It looks really sharp. And if you're not familiar with CBCS, so this has, you can see this little check mark up here. And so what that means is that this is a book that presents exceptionally well for its grade. So this is a 5.0, but it has a little check mark indicating that it's, looks better than a 5.0 normally would. And so You could always check the grader's notes, see if maybe there's some interior flaw or something like that. But and so with CGC, you might see something similar where it'll say CVA, and that generally means that it's a book, again, that presents exceptionally well for that grade. So this last book that was in this box is probably the one that I'm most excited about for this group of 3 books. And there's the guy on Instagram, and I can't remember what his handle is. It's always kind of really confusing. It's not a real straightforward name. I will try to find it and put it into the description if you want to check it out, because he has some awesome pre-code horror and good girl art and all that kind of these really cool Golden Age books. His Golden Age collection is amazing. And he had a video that he had recorded, kind of going through different boxes he had of slabs and different books, and he showed this book, and not this one specifically, but this cover. And I hadn't seen it before, and I was just like, that is awesome. I really want to get one of those. And I happened to see one come up for sale a little bit after that, which seems to happen a fair amount when I see a book that's really interesting to me, and then I come across it. But this is Witchcraft #2, which is a Avon book, and it's from 1952, and it is just, I mean, this is such an awesome skull cover. I mean, I think probably the only skull cover I would say that I really think is cooler than this one is Punch #12, and I'll plug a picture of that one up over here because that book is incredible, and it is really, really expensive. But this one is a nice alternative, and just really cool pre-code horror skull cover. Just got the skull and crossbones, just kind of like pirates, and that kind of stuff. And I love the yellow. The yellow just really pops with this. I think this is just this is an awesome book. And it's a low grade, 2.5, but there's no notes or anything right here, so it means cover's attached, centerfold's attached, all of that. And it presents pretty well for a 2.5. I mean, there's no real big creases or anything like that on the cover. I mean, this spine has a lot of wear, so you can tell that's really where a bunch of this is coming from. But awesome book. Really excited to get this book. All right, so those were the books that are in that box. So which one am I gonna open next? I think I'm gonna go with this one. This one, assuming I got the right box, because I sometimes buy too many books, so I have a lot of books to open every once, and I don't always get right to them. And this is actually from my brother, who also buys and sells comics. And assuming I have the right box. And so when he found, or when I was talking to him, and I was telling him how I was picking up L.B. Cole books, L.B. Cole covers, that kind of stuff. And, he just happens to, just shoot me over a picture of one that he has. And so I was just like, what might you want for that book? And because they aren't. I know they aren't cheap, and I didn't want the book for free or anything like that. I paid my brother for the book. It is from a run that of a number of those books that I've picked up recently. And yep, that is what it is. Awesome. So this one is really cool. I am excited to get this book. So this is Suspense Comics #9, and so now I have number 11, which is the devil cover, number 8, which is the kind of creepy guy with the skeleton spider on the cover. I have that number 4, which is that awesome L.B. Cole his first cover in the run. And now this one, it's so cool. And the thing that I think part of the reason I really like this cover is it reminds me of the Sharingan with Naruto, the special eyes that the ninja have in that anime. And I don't know, it feels like that when they're using it to kind of put someone in a trance or something like that. So this cover is incredible. And I can't remember offhand, there's another cover that he uses this same eye in that's a number of years later. So this is 1945, and like I showed with that Startling Terror Tales number 11, which is the second time he uses that spider character, it's later on. It's in 1953 and 1952 or 1953. And so he reuses some of these characters or styles over time. and he tends to up the creep factor, you know, or violence a little bit. And so there's a later one where it's like a bunch of like bloody heads that are, you know, with the same eye. But I actually like this one more because that one, the eye is like a normal eye. It just has like the white of the eye, whereas this one has the spiral inside the eye, which I think is awesome. So yeah, this book looks really good. I mean, again, 2.0. Unfortunately, it's, you know, it's not a 1.8. You know, like the all the set of 1.8s that I've been getting for those L.B. Cole books. I mean, I guess I could take it out and damage it a little and send it back in and see if I get a 1.8. But I'm not going to do that. But real excited to get this book. There's some great covers in that run, and this is one of them. And I don't know, just I feel like I'm a big anime fan, and it feels like that, you know, from the eyes from Naruto. So I really thought that was cool. So like that book. Now, the last one here is one that is part of that collection of books that I've been trying to put together. I figured I would show that group of books again, since I haven't shown it for a while. It was pretty early on in the channel when I showed it last. And so I'll get into this and we'll talk about that. Okay, so this is the book that I got that was part of that run. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to contact the seller because there's a little mix-up. It looks like. So this is Hulk 271, and he sold 2 copies of it that night, and he sold a newsstand and a direct. And I bought the newsstand, and which is the one I really wanted because I collect high-grade newsstands, you know, all up there. So this is the first comic appearance of Rocket Raccoon. This is the direct edition, so, you know, I'll reach out to him. Hopefully we can work that out, and maybe the guy that purchased the other one, we can just, you know, ship them to each other and get this all handled. But yeah, no, this is I have another copy of this right now. So this is, you know, same book. This is also the direct, but a 9.6, and I really wanted to upgrade that one to a 9.8, and the opportunity came about at a recent claim sale, so I purchased that. So this is the first Rocket Raccoon in comics, and what I'd been putting together, and I mentioned this in a prior video, was the set of all the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of like main characters from that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And so then I also have this book, which is Marvel Preview number 7, this is the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon, which occurs in this magazine. So that's why that's the difference here between the appearances. And then we've got Marvel Preview number 4, which is the first appearance of Star-Lord. You know, it's not Peter Quill's Star-Lord. It's you know, this version of Star-Lord. That's why he looks different. And then Strange Tales 180, which is the first appearance of Gamora. And then Iron Man 55, which is the first appearance of a bunch of people, but it includes Drax the Destroyer. Also Thanos, which is relevant for that movie, but the main reason, you know, for this collection is Drax the Destroyer, but Thanos is my favorite character from the Marvel Universe, so that's why I actually really have this book, is for him. And then the last book, and this was one that I showed in a prior unboxing because it was the hardest one to get in this set, and this is Tales to Astonish number 13, which is the first appearance of Groot. Because, you know, he shows up very early on in Marvel. You know, he's one of the pre-hero characters back when they were doing more monster-type characters. And so this is November of 1960, and, you know, just one of my favorite books that I have. I love this book. It's great. So, those are all the books from this unboxing. You know, hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this, and I will film some more videos when I get some more books in. Thanks again.